the same chapter, also electricity. Most probably we will do the last part of this chapter today. So before that, I would like to do one more problem and then we will be doing some theory part. The question says, it is given in the concise physics, page number 195, example 1. So I read the question, those who do not have the book, they can follow. The current through a 12 volt, the current through a 12 volt tungsten filament lamp, LAMP lamp, connected to a 12 volt accumulator and battery, same thing. 12 volt accumulator of negligible resistance is 3.0 ampere. Accumulator of negligible resistance is 3.0 ampere. Calculate number 1, the resistance of the filament. Number 2, the power of the lamp. And number 3, the electrical energy in kilowatt hour consumed in 5 hours. So this is the question from the book Concise Physics, page example 1. This is example 1, page number 195. Those who have the book, they can get the question from the book, but I already read the question. Now I write out the information whatever has been provided in the question. The voltage is given 12 volt, right? The voltage has been 12 volt given. Current given is 3 ampere. Current is given 3 ampere. Okay. Now the first part of question is asking you to find the resistance of the filament. V and I given, you have to find R. First part, R is unknown. Then we will be using the formula V equal to IR, simple formula, and find the answer. V is 12, I is 3 into R. Therefore, the value of R is coming 4 ohm. The first answer comes. Now I read the second part of the question that says power of the lamp. We find power. Power is unknown. Power is unknown. You will be using the formula, power formula VI. So put the value of power. Power we have to find. Voltage is 12 and current is 3. So the answer will become 36 watt. 36 watt. That is the answer for the second part. Now the third part. Third part, you have to find the electrical energy consumed in kilowatt hours, right? Energy. This time energy is unknown, and energy formula we have power into time. When power is known, the power is 36 watt into time. Time is given in the question 5 hours, right? 5 hours. 36 into 5 will give the answer 180 watt hours. We will change kilowatt hours. Question also asks you to do that, right? Divide by 1000 watt hour, 1010 will cancel. 0.18 kilowatt hour. Because we change it from watt hours to kilowatt hour, we have to divide by 1000 by it. So energy consumption in kilowatt hour is 0.18 kilowatt hour. Okay, that is answer for this question. Okay, this was the last numerical of this chapter. Now we are doing the theory part. The theory part will be like this. There are 3 types of electrical wires we use at home. Or for connection we use 3 kinds of wire. One is called live wire, one is neutral, and one is earth wire. There are 3 kinds of wire. Live, neutral, and the earth. I think you all must have seen or must be knowing about them. There are 3 kinds of wire. Through the live wire, current enters the circuit, and through the neutral wire, the current goes back to the circuit, goes back to the source. Live wire sends the current, and the neutral wire brings the current back to the source. And the role of earth wire is to protect the user, protect the appliance or the user from getting an electric shock or from for the appliance to get damaged. The earth wire is connected to the earth. So there are three kinds of wire we have. One is live, one is neutral, and one is earth. There are three kinds of wire. Electrical wires we are having. Okay. Now we have to learn about the types of wiring which we follow or which we do at home. Last time I taught you there are two types of combination of resistance. One is series, one is parallel. In series, all the appliances will be receiving same current. They all will be the same line. All will receive equal current. I mean same current. In parallel, currents are divided, whereas voltage remains the same. So we got two types of combination: series combination and parallel combination. Do you know which type of combination we do the household wiring at home? Household wiring is done in which type of combination? Series or parallel? The answer is parallel. Household wiring is always done in parallel. We have advantage of parallel system. What are the advantages of parallel system of wiring at home? So advantages, you can give the advantages of parallel system of wiring. Parallel system of wiring at home. We do the wiring in the parallel system only, not the series combination. Okay, there will be problem in series combination, right? Number one, first advantage. All the appliances in parallel, run independently. Number two, in parallel, comma, the appliances run at a common voltage of supply. That is 220 volt. Common voltage of supply, that is 220 volt. Okay, right. Number three, third point. The appliances have their independent switches. Okay. Now you can understand what I said and what is the advantage in parallel. First point you retain, all the appliances run independently. Means the working of one appliance does not affect the working of the other appliance, because each appliance receives different current. So if any one of the appliance is damaged or is fused, then the other appliances will still work. They will continue to work. You must have seen at home that at home sometimes one bulb gets fused, but the other appliances in that particular room still work, because they are working, each one works independently or in parallel. That is only possible through parallel combination. You can understand this way. Suppose we got one appliance here, one appliance with one resistance here, another appliance with another resistance here, another appliances will be like in parallel, suppose that is this way and so on. This will have a current I1, this is I2, this is I3, and this is the total current. I suppose this one is fused, that means I1 becomes 0, but this two will still receive current, this two will still receive current, and they will still work. That is, each appliances work independently. That is the point number one. Second point, all the appliances run at a common voltage. Voltage is decided by the ends between them they are connected. So this is the end A, this is the end B. So each appliance is having same voltage or running at the same voltage. That is the common voltage. And what is the common voltage for household supply? 220 volts. in India throughout this kind of voltage is only used. What I mean to say, suppose you buy an appliance in Delhi and you want to use it in Kalimpong or maybe some other place. You can use because the voltage supply in the entire country is the same. So it is not varying. Suppose you buy an appliance of 220 volt there, and if the voltages is not a common voltage of supply, if the combination is series combination, then the voltage will be changing. So that appliance will not get the sufficient voltage for its functioning, or may get even more voltage and it will get damaged. So there we cannot use series combination. All will be having different voltages. So you cannot use the appliance bought at one place to be used in the another place. That we cannot do. So that means the second advantage is that all the appliances run at a common voltage of supply. That's why every company can make the appliances made for 220 volt. Okay. And the third point, we are using the switches independently at home. You must have seen switches are, each appliances have got its own switch. You want to switch on a particular appliance and you want to keep the other appliance off, that you can do. That is the choice lies with you. In a particular, you want only fan to run, and other appliances, maybe the bulbs, or you want them not to function. So you can just press the switch or switch on that. The fan only, and the other things will remain off. That is only possible when we are doing the parallel combination, because in parallel each appliances, each devices will have their own switches separately. So each appliance is run independently. That is the idea behind. So three advantages we have. What are the disadvantages of series combination? In series combination, I will show you what happens. In series combination, one resistance, another appliance, and this is R1, this is R2, this is R3, and so on. We are having. Here the problem is what? If any other appliance, here current will be same current will flow everywhere, same current will flow everywhere. If this appliance is suppose fused or damaged, the current here will become zero. Then none of the appliances, here only the current is stopped. The current will not be flowing through the other appliances up here. Then the other appliances will not work. That means the working of each of the appliances is not independent. No, it's depending upon each other. If any one of the appliances is fused, then other appliances will not work or will not function at all. So that happens in series. Another thing, the voltages are changing. This is AD, this is something different volt, this is different volt. Then company will have tough time in making those appliances, and we will not know how much voltage to be used. So voltage has to be common. That happens in parallel. And the third one is we cannot use different switches for these appliances. One switch will put everything on and off with one switch only. So suppose you want to use a particular appliance in a room, then in order to use that particular appliance, all the appliances connected in the same line, in series, all will have to be put on. That is a big disadvantage. In generally the winter time, we don't want fan to run. We don't want motion of the fan. But other light and also we need. So if they are all in series, you have to have the bulb glowing as well as the fan running if they are in series combination. So you cannot put it off. That is, appliances are not working independently. One single switch will put everything on and everything off. So normally these are the disadvantages. But in some situation we go for series combination. In some situation, where the place is big, like a hall, auditorium, hall. So there are so many lighting systems are there. Then there will be so many switches. Then you have to put each and every switches on independently in order to have all the appliances functioning. There we go for series combination. One switch, that is called main switch. Main switch is there. That switch will have a lever or handle there. You put it down, everything is on at once because all will receive same current in the same line. Put it off, everything is off at once in one go. But there the parallel system is disadvantageous. Why? Because you have to keep on switching on each and every device, appliances, and you have to put them off again one by one. So it will take longer time and it is a bit inconvenient. So this kind of system, series combination, is done for a big press, and we do it with the help of a main switch. Even main switch we have at home sometimes. Sometimes we want all the appliances, the entire power supply of the house to be off. Sometimes we want that. Suppose we are repairing something and there is some fault in the electrical lines and all there. So there we always place a main switch. Main switch is always there at the beginning, near the door we place at a convenient place. When we want none of the current not to enter inside, we put the main switch off. Lever we put up, then everything becomes off. Light does not come at all. No current will be coming entering your house. That means you are safe. So that there the series combination is advantage. The main switch is connected in series for all the appliances there. And when you want them to be on, then you have to put it down. The lever you have to put it down. Then everything is the current will start coming. But unless you place this particular switch, the current will not be flowing through that particular appliance. That is the idea. So parallel, they are very often we are seeing one type of combination. The household wiring is done. Is it done in series or done in parallel? So the answer is it is done in parallel. Because in parallel I give the advantages of parallel system, and household wiring can the disadvantage also I get. But in some situations series combination can be advantageous in some situation. Okay, and I described with the situation. Now the another thing which you have to learn is about fuse. Fuse. What is an electric fuse? We say it is a safety electric device. It is a safety electric device which safeguards the appliance from short circuiting, and the electric cable from fire, Okay. So now I think you all must have seen a fuse. We use fuse in electric circuit. We use a fuse wire there. Actually, what is a fuse? Fuse is a thin wire like this. It is within a case of there. There is a. This is made up of porcelain and instead you can take it out and you can put it inside that. And inside there will be a thin wire used of it. There is a wire used like this. This way. This is called fuse. This is denoted by F. This is called fuse. And this side will be here, and there will be input here, and there will be output here, and there may be appliances around over here, and then the appliances, there is an appliance here, and this side we will be having the neutral wire, which will get the current like this. This side we will be having neutral. This is neutral wire. This is neutral wire, and this is light wire. Fuse is connected to the live wire only. Both input and output is the live wire only. From here to here, the live wire current will reach the appliance, and through the other side, the current will return back to the source from where it is flowing, from where it is coming. Inside there is a thin wire that is called fuse. What is the role of fuse? The role of fuse is when this current, the live current, becomes higher than what is required for the appliance, higher than that value, then this fuse will be becoming heated up and will melt. The fuse will melt, will break now like this. The fuse will melt and the live current stops here only within the fuse, cannot go to the appliance. Then the appliance is, the damage of the appliance is prevented. So that is what exactly happening. A fuse works on the heating property of current, because when the current flows through this is having high resistance, so due to the resistance it gets heated up like a heater. In a heater we got coil there, when you pass current through it, due to resistance the heat is generated there, same thing happens in the fuse wire there, the heat is generated, but if the amount of heat is too much it will melt, and when it melts it will stop the current here only within the fuse, then current cannot reach the appliance. That means the appliance is protected, appliance is safeguarded. That is the idea behind it. So on what property does this fuse work? We say it works on the heating property of current. We can write on that. Write down definition of fuse, right? It is a safety electric device. It is a safety electric device which safeguards or protect, you can add any one of the word, or protect an appliance from getting damaged, and prevents the fire in the cable, due to short circuiting. That you can mention, you can write like this. Then immediately you will be writing it works on the heating property of current, because it gets heated up, because current has got heating property, it has got magnetic property also. There are different properties of current, so here we are making use of the heating property of current. Okay, now the next part, what are the requirements of a good fuse wire? What type of property the fuse wire should have? Requirements. We say requirements of a fuse wire. Requirements, that is important. Requirements of a fuse wire. Requirements of a fuse wire. A fuse wire must have two properties or two requirements it must have. Number one, it must have a low melting point. Please write it down and try to understand also. It must have a low melting point. And number two, it must have a high resistivity. Resistivity is a word coming from resistance. It must have sufficiently high resistance. So two requirements are there for a fuse wire. You can understand it must have a low, because it must melt quickly in order to stop the current here, in order to prevent the damage. So it must have a low melting point. Another one, it must have a high, because we are using a very thin and very short length of the wire, very small length of the wire we are using. So it must have very high resistivity. That high resistivity will oppose and will get heated up quickly there, and will be producing enough amount of heat so that it breaks. When the fuse wire breaks, we use a term called when the fuse blows. When the fuse blows, then we call it, blowing means the wire breaks and the current stops here. Then again you have to repair, you have to change this wire, you have to remove this wire and replace it by another kind of wire. So what material, suitable material, this is also important, suitable material for a fuse is an alloy of lead and tin, 50% lead plus 50% SN is tin, called fuse or solder metal. This alloy has got a name called fuse metal or solder metal. This is important. Which material is suitable to make a fuse? Following these two criteria, we must go for an alloy of lead and tin, that is 50% lead and 50% tin. That such an alloy has got a name called fuse metal or solder metal. We should never use copper wire for making a fuse, because copper wire has high melting point and it has got low resistivity. that means it won't melt easily, and it has got low resistivity, it will allow maximum current to pass through it. That means the appliances will get damaged and the wire will still be burning. The purpose of the fuse is defeated in that case. So we should not use. We should use the suitable material, that is lead and tin. Normally it happens at home with the fuse sometimes blows. So we just remove a copper wire and just replace it by that wire, and we put it back there in the circuit there, and the fuse is, this one is on. This one is and the light comes and we are very happy, but that is not the correct method, because the purpose of fuse is not served. Then why to use to just connect directly with the copper wire? That is the idea. So fuse is a preventive measure or the precautionary measure. So you must go for lead and tin. Why copper is not suitable for making fuse? Because of these two problems. It has got high melting point and it has got a low resistivity. So another thing you must have seen out there, the fuse is connected to which kind of wire? It is connected to always with the live wire. A fuse is always connected with the live wire, because through the live wire only the current enters the appliance. In order to prevent the damage to the appliance, the fuse must be connected to the live wire. Suppose you connect the fuse over here like this. What happens? The current will already be running through the appliance, and here it will get stopped. That means whatever damage the appliance has to get, that will be occurring, that will be happening there. The appliance damage cannot be prevented in that case. So live wire, the fuse is always connected to the live wire in the circuit. So okay, today's lesson we will do this much. Little bit is left over, that we will be completing